Okay guys, so today I'm going to show you how you can wire up a circuit to essentially make a toggleable fuse. This one I used for an ATC fuse, which is those slightly larger fuses you see in the engine bay. If you can find them small enough for the quick disconnects, you might be able to make something like this work with the interior car fuses. The circuit would be the same. Just be mindful before I start this. If you need to create a toggle for the fuse, make sure you're aware of the amperage of the fuse and you use a switch and a wire that is appropriately rated for that circuit. So, I don't have actual fuses or extra leftover stuff, so we're just going to mock this up. So let's say this is the switch and this is the fuse, right? So you're going to take your fuse, you're going to use a female quick disconnect and slide that right onto the connector of the fuse. Use however much wire you need to bridge the distance to a male connector, and this is going to act as one side of the prong of the fuse that will go into the fuse on your car. With these, you might have to wiggle them a little bit, or the placement can be kind of tricky. If you absolutely have to, take some tin snips and just trim one end down slightly, but you shouldn't have to do that. On the other end, your other prong of your fuse, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to create a wire. You're going to plug in this female quick disconnect, stretch out the wire however long you need to essentially wherever you're going to have your switch. Your switch is also going to have prongs, so instead of a female to male, you're going to want a female to female. Plug that into your switch. Then on the other end, you're going to take another female connector and then create a wire to a male connector, and that needs to be the length of however long it is to go back from the switch back into the fuse box. This example just uses a two-prong switch. If you get like one of those rocker switches with an LED on it, you can either completely ignore the ground switch, or if you do want it to light up, you can wire the ground switch, and you can use something like 18WG wire for the ground if all you're doing is tapping into the fuse. For the connection going in and out, since you're basically just creating a gate, it does not matter which end goes into load and which end goes into power, because you're just creating a bridge. I mean, ideally, if you want to do it right, put the end going from the fuse into the switch for power, the end out going load, but it really doesn't matter. And not every switch will have a ground, but if your switch does have a ground, only use it if that ground is, for activating, if it's got like a light on it, and the ground would trigger the light. But since you're not powering anything and you're just creating a pass-through, that's all you need to do. Once again, just make sure you look up the rating of the fuse and use the appropriate wire and switch rated for the current, and hope that helped.